How's everyone? And welcome to my jam session. We're still in the summer solstice and it's still hot. And it's getting hotter for some of us out west. And they're recording all kinds of record temperatures that I'm seeing on the thermometer. They're getting up to 120 to 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And I just find that so interesting that they say things about global warming, or now they're calling it climate change. But from us as a Chinese medicine standpoint or a Chinese cultural standpoint, we say that this is normal heat of the summer. And as it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter, then it just going from the period of heat to summer heat in the late summer, which just makes you hotter. So as everybody knows that's been following us along in the Type Me community, we've been talking about our different summer fruits. And we've had all kinds of suggestions that you can be using for summer fruit. And just to recap, we use longan and oranges and previous weeks, and blueberries and watermelon. And then we talked about apricot and dragon fruit, which was pretty interesting, and golden melon and raspberry. So this week we have our different fruits of the yang persuasion and yin persuasion. So the yang ones are the mangosteen. So mangosteen, if you haven't came in contact with it, it's a very hard shell. And I liken it to almost hard as a nut, hard outside. And then when you open it up, it has a fleshy center and they're sectioned almost like mandarin oranges. So in Asia, they use it in many, many different countries. And depending upon the Asian country, they use it in a wide variety of different ways. Some of them they use for medicine. Some they use it as a summer fruit. Some they use in different dishes. So depending upon the country you go to, you'll see it applied in different ways. So we say that in Chinese food therapy culture, we say mangosteen quenches the thirst, which is obvious. So like in the summertime, you need something to now start to produce extra cooling sensation in your body. And the first start is production of saliva. So quenching the thirst is it's actually stimulating the salivary glands, stimulating the different types of glands and organs that will produce the fluids in order to feel your body just like, okay, I don't need to drink and produce fluids, because when you're thirsty, your body's actually already dehydrated. It's already telling you to dehydrate it. And we also say it clears heat. What that means is that your body's getting too hot, then it opens the pores and vents the heat, almost like you'll see a steam kettle. So then that clears the heat, opens the pores, and allows your body to cool down. Another type of internal air conditioning, okay? Then we say detoxifies, because as your body's building up all of these type of things due to the heat and then overworking itself, especially in the summertime with too much heat, then now when your body starts to produce that extra fluid, it starts to irrigate and get now the toxins out of your body. So with certain conditions with mangosteen, we can now treat irritation. So if you're feeling irritated and irritability in the summertime, yeah, that's normal. But we can use mangosteen to now cool you down. Then also, if you have inflamed conditions, in certain countries, they use this for fever, or infections and skin eruptions of different types, especially what we call the hot variety. So once we understand how to go about utilizing each of these fruits and their different natures, then we can now use it properly. So like I said, this is yang category fruits. So all you yang types out there, you can now use mangosteen. Another yang fruit is shizi, is persimmon. Persimmon. So persimmon is also something we call a cool fruit, but it's more astringent, which means that if your body is perspiring so much because it's so hot, and you literally are leaking out fluids because your body is just too hot, just literally leaking out, then we say it astringes. So it'll actually help regulate your body now opening and closing the pores so that you don't leak out so much fluid. So then also it can help with your type of cough, what we call a summer heat cough or a heat cough, where the body is now really agitated and inflamed. So it can stop the cough with heat, but then also lubricate the lungs. So generating fluid for the lungs and allowing you to lubricate, and it will calm down that area of the lungs and then help your body with just inflammation in that area. Now, it also dissolves phlegm, because obviously if there's too much heat in the lung, the body's going to try to send out the fire department. And the fire department is going to use two devices. One is water and the other is foam. The body does the same thing. It generates fluids with the glands that generate fluids, but it also uses the mucosal gland or the mucus to now slather through and then do what? Give you a protective coating. Well, if that's too much, then it can also block. So that's why it's not always beneficial. So this helps actually clean this up. And it's like Dawn taking the grease out of the way, helps break up the mucus and helps you dissolve it. Because it does that, it has a digestive function. So it has a digestive function and helps you go through the process of now clearing heat and strengthening the spleen or the digestion. So those are the two yang type of fruits that we're going to be dealing with this week. So now let's talk about some of the yin fruits that we're going to be dealing with this week. The first one is passion fruit. Passion fruit. And with passion fruit, we say it has a cooling nature and bitter, a little bit of bitter to it and bland. And this will help clear the heat in the body, because all the summer fruits really, actually, they clear heat. They help, but in different ways. Okay. So when they clear heat, but this one is specific. We say it anchors the yang. So heat can do different things in the body. And when it does different things, in this particular case, it can now heat up the body. And now what it's doing is it's pushing the pressure up. So if people have elevated high blood pressure, we can use this to help the body, hey, anchor it down. Hot air balloon is going up, 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 up. Hey, we need some sandbags, passion fruit sandbags, and it'll start to anchor it and bring it back down. As it's anchoring it and bringing it back down, it means that the energy is moving in this direction. That also helps aid in digestion. So the two main conditions that are typically understood and associated with passion fruit is lowering the blood pressure, high blood pressure in this case, and then a digestive stimulant, but also producing fluids, quenching thirst, help that kind of prospect in, excuse me, in the summertime. And many times what I've seen is that people will use passion fruit in the East to now make different types of juices or different types of, cooling aids, as a drink in the East. Now we have chow mein. Chow mein is strawberry. And the strawberry, that's pretty much planetary. Everybody knows strawberry and how to use it, but how to use it in the context of helping you. Like the passion fruit is low to the ground. Strawberry is low to the ground yin bush. So we say it has a cool nature, and it also lubricates the lungs, promotes the fluids, helps aid in the digestion and spleen. But this one's specific. It helps with alcohol detoxification. It helps now with your ability to process the alcohol that you're putting into your system. So many Japanese businessmen know this trick. So if you go to Japan for the first time and they're offering you drinks and one guy is drinking strawberries, he's actually detoxifying himself while they're getting you drunk. So they'll use this all the time. So then now also too for uh, dry conditions like the dry cough in summertime, obviously it gets hot. But then in certain cases, you can also have dryness because the heat is so drying that it actually, you start to develop a dry cough. So now we can use the strawberry for this kind of condition. And because it's so dry, sometimes it can irritate the throat and have sore throat. So then now we use strawberry for sore throat and then help promote your urination, food retention, and lack of appetite. So you'll begin to see that with strawberry, there's a lot of different uses, even with the shape. Many times we not only look at the properties of the fruit, but the shape, the color. So in many cases, it can actually help with sleep. So the seeds on the outside of the strawberry, we can use as a tranquilizer. So this is what we use it in Chinese medicine for. So you can crush up the seeds, put in your smoothie, what have you. And as you're taking that in, this helps stimulate melatonin production. So this will help your body regulate its sleep cycle. So just make sure you do it 2 hours before you want to go to bed. And then this will actually help your body with different aspects of your sleep cycle.